My beloved child. At 8:37 last night, 36 people were sitting inside a private restaurant room celebrating your soulmate's parents' anniversary. Family. Old friends. Neighbors. People who had known your soulmate since childhood. Everything was normal. Until their uncle stood with a glass in his hand. He had already given a speech about marriage. About loyalty. About choosing the right person. Then he looked toward your soulmate and smiled. And maybe next year we'll finally be celebrating you too. Everyone laughed. Your soulmate forced a smile. Their mother said, "Don't embarrass them." The uncle continued anyway. "I'm only saying they've had a difficult year." Then someone at the table added, "At least the person who walked away is finally in the past." Your soulmate stopped smiling. Another relative said, "Some people don't know what they have until it's too late." A few people nodded. Then, you deserved someone who actually wanted to stay. Your soulmate slowly put down their glass. Nobody noticed at first. Their younger sister Ava did. She immediately knew something had changed. Your soulmate stood. Their mother frowned. "Where are you going?" They looked around the entire room. Then said, "Can everybody stop saying that?" Silence. Their uncle lowered his glass. "Saying what?" Your soulmate's hands were shaking. "But they didn't sit down. That they walked away from me. Your name didn't need to be spoken. Everyone knew." Their father looked uncomfortable. "Tonight isn't really the time." Your soulmate turned toward him. "That's exactly why I need to say it tonight." The room became completely still. Then your soulmate said, "They didn't abandon me." Pause. "I made a decision behind their back that changed our entire future." Their voice cracked. "And when they finally left because of it, I let all of you believe they were the one who couldn't commit." Nobody moved. Their mother whispered, "What are you talking about?" Your soulmate looked at her. Then said, "I'm talking about the apartment." Ava covered her mouth. She knew. But most of the room didn't. Your soulmate continued, "And I'm talking about the fact that I am still in love with them. They're public. No private text. No whispered confession. No telling one trusted friend." 36 people heard it. Including the same family members who had spent months believing you were the person who walked away. But that still wasn't the sentence that shocked everybody most. Because a few minutes later, your soulmate admitted something nobody in that room knew. Not even their parents. Something they had done 4 days before your breakup. And when their mother heard it, she started crying. Before we continue, remember this is an emotional storytelling message, not a literal claim that anyone can know another person's private feelings or conversations. But stay with this story. Because the public confession wasn't important simply because your soulmate said, "I still love them." Words are easy when everybody is emotional. What mattered was what they admitted immediately afterward. Months earlier, You and your soulmate had reached a stage where the relationship needed a real next step. Not marriage tomorrow. Not children. Not some dramatic promise. Something ordinary. A home. You had both been renting separately. Your lease expired in August. Theirs expired in September. And for months, you had talked casually about living together. At first it was playful. Your soulmate would leave clothes at your place. You would say, "At this point you owe me rent." They would laugh. Then answer, "Fine. I'll move in." You would say, "Absolutely not. You don't even put mugs back in the correct cabinet." They would kiss you. Problem solved. But gradually, the joke became a possibility. One Sunday morning you asked, "Do you actually want to live together?" Your soulmate looked at you. Then smiled. "Yes." You froze. "Really?" "Yes." "No joke?" "No joke." Your face lit up. Your soulmate loved seeing that. Then you asked, "When?" And immediately, their smile changed. You noticed. "Here we go." "What?" You were happy until I asked when. Your soulmate laughed nervously. "Because you turn everything into logistics. That's generally how moving works." They smiled. Then said, "Maybe when our leases end." You stared. "That's actually soon." "I know." You became excited. And for the next month, you looked. Not obsessively. A few places. Some terrible. One apartment had a kitchen so small your soulmate said, "If we argue in here, one of us has to stand outside." You laughed. Another place was too expensive. Then you found one. Not perfect, but good. 2 bedrooms. Enough light. Close enough to both jobs. Only 25 minutes from your soulmate's family. You walked through it together. And something happened. Your soulmate became quiet. You asked, "What?" They looked around. Then smiled. "I can actually see us here." You felt it too. The agent showed you the balcony. Your soulmate immediately said, "This is where I'll drink coffee." You replied, "You don't even like sitting outside." "I will become an outside person." Apparently the lease comes with a new personality. Both of you laughed. Before leaving, the agent gave you an application. You didn't sign. You agreed to think for 48 hours. That evening, you sat on your floor eating takeout. The application between you. You asked, "Scared?" Your soulmate answered, "Very." You smiled. "Me too." They looked surprised. "You are?" "Of course. You don't act scared." You shrugged. "Being scared doesn't automatically mean I don't want something." Your soulmate became quiet. That sentence mattered. Because for them, Fear often felt like a warning. If something scared them, maybe it was wrong. You took their hand. We don't have to do this. Their eyes lifted. If you don't want it, say no. Your soulmate looked at the application. Then, I want it. You smiled. Okay. Then you both agreed you would submit the application Friday. For the next few days, everything felt different. You talked about furniture, bills, how to split groceries, whose family got holidays, even small things. You said, I need one drawer nobody touches. Your soulmate asked, why? For important things. Like? I don't know yet. They laughed. It felt normal. Not a fantasy. A life. Then Thursday evening, your soulmate went home for dinner. Their parents were there. Ava. Their father asked, are you renewing your apartment? Your soulmate hesitated. No, their mother looked up. What? Then, why? Your soulmate explained. The apartment. Living together. Friday application. Their mother became quiet. Not angry. Just surprised. So soon? Your soulmate immediately became defensive. We've been together for years. I know. Their father asked, are you sure? There. That word. Sure. Your soulmate looked down. Their mother continued, living together changes things. I know. Financially too. I know. What happens if you break up? Ava immediately said, Mom. What? It's a real question. It was. But your soulmate's anxiety was already rising. Their father added, you have a perfectly good apartment. Your soulmate said, my lease ends next month. You can renew it. I could. Then their mother asked, why close every escape route before you're certain? That sentence stayed. Escape route. Your soulmate went home that night and couldn't sleep. Suddenly, every exciting part of the apartment had another interpretation. Shared rent. What if you broke up? Furniture. Who keeps it? A home. What if they felt trapped? Your soulmate loved you. But love did not silence fear. At 1:13 in the morning, they opened their landlord's renewal email. The offer expired the next day. 12 more months. Same apartment. Safe. Familiar. They stared at it. Then told themselves, I'll renew temporarily. Pause. If our application gets accepted, I'll cancel it. That was how they justified it. They clicked. Signed. Renewed their apartment for another year. And told you nothing. The next morning, you texted, application day. Still alive? Your soulmate stared at the message. Guilt. Then, barely. You replied, same. Dinner first? They said yes. They still plan to tell you. At dinner. Then Fear said, maybe wait until you know whether the new apartment application is approved. So they didn't. You submitted the joint application together. Your soulmate signed it. Knowing they had signed another lease less than 12 hours earlier. That was the secret. 4 days later. The agent called. Approved. You were excited. You called your soulmate immediately. We got it. Silence. You laughed. Why do you sound like someone died? They forced a laugh. No. I'm happy. You sure? Yes. Then you said, we have to sign Wednesday. Your soulmate closed their eyes. Wednesday. They spent Monday trying to find a way out of the renewal. Penalty. Fees. Possible. But expensive. The landlord's envelope was on the desk. You weren't snooping. Your name wasn't on it. You barely noticed. Then a page slipped onto the floor. You bent down. And saw, lease renewal confirmation. 12 months. Signed. Date, the morning you submitted your joint application. Your entire body went still. You read it again. Maybe you misunderstood. You didn't. Your soulmate came out of the hallway. Saw the paper in your hand. And froze. You asked, what is this? No answer. Please tell me I'm reading it wrong. Your soulmate looked down. I was going to tell you. Your eyes filled immediately. When? Tonight. Tonight? You held up the paper. You signed this 4 days ago. I know. The same day we applied together. I know. Your voice broke. Why? Your soulmate tried to explain. Fear. Parents. Backup plan. They said, I panicked. You stared. So you renewed? Yes. Then why did you sign the application with me? I still wanted the apartment. Your eyes filled harder. Then why keep this? I wanted options. There. Options. You laughed once. Broken. Options. Your soulmate reached for you. You moved back. They said, I can cancel it. That isn't the point. I know. No, you looked at them. The point is that we were building one future together while you secretly kept another future available in case ours scared you. Silence. Your soulmate cried. I didn't know what to do. You could have told me you were scared. I didn't want you to think I didn't want us. Your expression changed. Then, so instead you did something that makes me question whether I can trust us. That was worse. Your soulmate tried, please. You sat down. Asked, did you ever intend to tell me if I hadn't found this? Yes. When? They couldn't answer. You stared. Then, were you going to sign the new lease Wednesday? I think so. Think? Your soulmate looked away. And suddenly, you understood. Even now. Even after approval. They didn't know. Your voice became quiet. I can't move in with you. Their head snapped up. What? Not now. Please don't decide tonight. You almost laughed. You already made a decision without me. They started crying. You continued, I could handle you saying, I'm terrified. I need another month. I don't think I'm ready. Pause. What I can't handle is you asking me to build trust on top of information you're hiding because you don't like what the truth might make me do. That was the wound. Not the apartment. The secrecy. The new lease was cancelled. You both lost fees. But the relationship didn't immediately end. You tried for another month. Your soulmate apologized repeatedly. You wanted to believe it was one mistake. Then you noticed something. Their family knew they had renewed. Their mother had even helped them review the paperwork. But nobody knew you hadn't known. At dinner, their father casually said, It's probably good you kept your own place. Your face changed. Your soulmate looked down. Their mother said, moving was becoming too rushed. You stared at your soulmate. They said nothing. And suddenly, a second betrayal appeared. Their family believed the joint move had simply fallen apart mutually. Nobody knew your soulmate had secretly renewed first. Later you asked, why didn't you tell them what actually happened? Your soulmate sighed. What would that help? Your eyes filled. It would stop them from thinking I changed my mind. Does it matter? You stared. Yes. Why? Because now I'm carrying the reputation for your decision too. Your soulmate became frustrated. My family doesn't hate you. I didn't say they did. Then, but they keep saying I wasn't ready. You were ready. You signed. Pause. I was the one who was ready. Your soulmate knew. And still, they didn't correct the family. Because telling them, I lied to them. I kept a backup lease. I ruined the apartment. Would mean embarrassment. So the easier story survived. You eventually ended the relationship. Your final conversation happened outside your building. Your soulmate cried. I don't want this to end. You cried too. Neither do I. Then stay. You looked at them. Then asked, if I stay tonight, what changes tomorrow? Your soulmate became quiet. You continued, do you tell your family what actually happened? They hesitated. Your face changed. There was your answer. You whispered, you still want me to stay before you're ready to stand inside the truth. Your soulmate said, I need time. You nodded sadly. Exactly. Then you left. Afterward, Your soulmate's family built a simple explanation. You weren't ready. Living together scared you. You wanted a different life. Eventually, someone said, they walked away when commitment became real. Your soulmate heard it, and shame kept them silent. Then the story grew. Months later, their aunt said, sometimes people love the idea of you but disappear when responsibility arrives. Your soulmate said nothing. Their uncle, you deserve someone who actually wants to stay. Still nothing. And your soulmate hated themselves every time. Because they knew you had been ready to stay. They were the one who created an escape route. Then 3 weeks ago, Ava finally confronted them. She had heard their father say, "It's good that relationship ended before you gave up your apartment." Ava waited until everyone left. Then asked, "Why do you let them say that?" Your soulmate looked away. Say what? That they backed out. Nobody spoke. Ava continued, "You renewed first." I know. Do Mom and Dad know they didn't know? Your soulmate stayed silent. Ava's face changed. They don't. No, why? Your soulmate's eyes filled. Because it makes me look terrible. Ava stared. Then said, "So you've spent months letting them look unreliable instead." That hurt. Your soulmate didn't defend themselves. Ava continued, "You say you still love them." Your soulmate looked up. How do you know? Because you do. Silence. Then she asked, "What exactly does your love cost you?" Your soulmate frowned. What? Ava repeated, "What does loving them cost you now? You miss them. That hurts you. You look at old photographs. That hurts you. Then, but have you done one uncomfortable thing that protects their name instead of your comfort?" Your soulmate started crying. No. They hadn't. That night, they decided something. The next time the family told the false version, they would correct it. Not privately afterward. In the moment. Which brings us back to last night. Parents' anniversary. 36 people. Uncle standing. You deserved someone who actually wanted to stay. Your soulmate stood. Can everybody stop saying that? Then, they didn't abandon me. The room silent. Their father, what are you talking about? Your soulmate looked around. Then said, they were ready to move in with me. Their mother's face changed. Your soulmate continued, we found an apartment. We applied. We got approved. Then, and the morning we submitted the application, pause. I secretly renewed my own apartment for another year. Their mother covered her mouth. Their father stared. Your soulmate continued, they found out because paperwork fell off my desk. Nobody moved. Then, they didn't cancel our future. Pause. I created a private escape route and expected them to keep trusting me anyway. Their uncle slowly sat down. The same man who had said you didn't want to stay. Your soulmate looked at their parents. Then, you both knew I renewed. Their mother nodded. But you didn't know they didn't. No, your soulmate's voice broke. I let you believe the decision was mutual because I was embarrassed. Then came the public confession. No hesitation now. I loved them then. Pause. And I am still in love with them now. Their mother's eyes filled. But your soulmate continued. And this was the line nobody expected, but please don't turn that into a beautiful story. Everyone stared. Your soulmate said, because loving someone while letting them carry the blame for your fear is not enough. Silence. Then, they spent months being described as the person who couldn't commit. Pause. When they were literally the person standing beside me ready to sign a lease. Their father looked down. Your soulmate continued, they asked me one thing before leaving. Their voice cracked. If I stay tonight, what changes tomorrow? Pause. And I couldn't answer. Their mother cried. Then your soulmate said the sentence that shocked the room most. If they never come back to me, I still need every person at this table to stop telling the story as if they failed me. There. Not, please help me get them back. Not, tell them I'm miserable. Not, they belong with me. The confession was public. But it wasn't public pressure. Your soulmate continued, I failed them in a specific way. I hid fear instead of admitting it. I let embarrassment become silence. And then I let silence become their reputation. Pause. That belongs to me. Nobody clapped. Good. This wasn't a performance. Their father finally said, I owe them an apology. Your soulmate nodded. Maybe. Their father looked surprised. Maybe? Then your soulmate answered, if they want one. Boundary. Their mother asked, are you going to contact them? Your soulmate thought. Then, yes. But not tonight. Why? Because standing up in public had created a huge emotional rush. Your soulmate knew their old pattern. Big emotion. Big promise. Then fear after. So they waited until the next morning. Read what they had said again. Ask themselves, would I still tell the truth if they never answer me? Yes. Only then. They contacted you. Your phone lit up. Their name. The first message, last night I told my family the truth about the apartment. You stared. Another, all of it. Then, including that you were ready to sign and I had already renewed behind your back. Your heart tightened. You didn't know what to say. Then, I also corrected everyone who has been saying you walked away because you couldn't commit. Your eyes filled. And then, I told them I still love you. You stared at that one longer. But your soulmate immediately followed it with, I'm not telling you that because I expect you to come back. Pause. I should have protected the truth about you even if you never spoke to me again. That mattered more. You answered, "Why now?" Your soulmate replied, "Because Ava asked me what loving you had actually cost me." You frowned. Then, and I realized most of my love had been happening privately where it cost me nothing except missing you. You read it twice. Another, correcting my family cost embarrassment. So I should have done it months ago. You sat quietly. Then asked, "What did your dad say?" "That he owes you an apology." You replied, "I don't know if I want one yet." Immediate response, "That's okay." Good. Then you asked the harder question, "Do you want me back?" Your soulmate took several minutes. Finally, "Yes." Then, "But wanting you back is not the same as being ready to share a home with you again." You stared. Unexpected. They continued, "I think I need to learn to make smaller honest commitments before asking you for another huge one." That was different. Then, "If you are willing, I'd like one conversation." You agreed. When you met, you asked first, "Did you really tell 36 people you renewed behind my back?" Your soulmate covered their face. "Unfortunately." You almost laughed. "Your uncle too?" "Yes." "The one who said I couldn't commit?" Your soulmate nodded. He looked like he wanted the floor to open. You smiled despite yourself. Then became serious. "Why didn't you tell them when we were together?" Your soulmate answered, "Because I thought admitting what I did would make them lose respect for me." You stared. "So you let them lose respect for me?" Their eyes filled. "Yes." No defense. Then, "That's one of the ugliest things I've had to admit about myself." You looked down. Your soulmate continued, "I didn't invent lies about you." Pause. "I just kept refusing to correct the conclusions that protected me." There. Precise. You asked, "Do you still have that apartment?" They laughed softly. "No, what happened?" "I moved." You looked surprised. "When?" "2 months ago." "Why?" Your soulmate thought. "Because I realized I hated living in the place I had treated like an emergency exit." You both almost smiled. Then you asked, "Where are you now?" "Smaller apartment." "Good kitchen?" "Terrible kitchen." You laughed. For a moment, things felt normal. Then you asked, "What does loving me mean now?" Your soulmate didn't answer, "Everything." "Forever." "Destiny." They thought. Then, "It means telling the truth about you even when you're not here to reward me for it." Your expression changed. "Good answer." Then, "It means if I'm scared, I say scared. Not, I don't know if we're right." Pause. "And if I make a decision that affects us, you know before I sign it." You smiled slightly. "That seems useful." Apparently. You didn't restart the relationship that day. But you agreed to another conversation. Then another. And the real proof came in ordinary moments. A month later, your soulmate's mother invited you to a family dinner. You weren't ready. You said, "No," your soulmate replied, "Okay." No disappointment disguised as pressure. At dinner, their mother asked, "Why didn't they come?" Your soulmate answered, "Because they aren't ready." Their uncle said, "Still?" Your soulmate looked at him. Then, "They don't owe us a fast recovery from something we took months to correct." No anger. No hiding. Truth. Later, you heard about it from Ava. And strangely, that mattered more than the public love confession. Because you weren't there. There was no audience you needed to impress. No possibility of getting immediate affection from you. Your soulmate still protected the truth. Another few weeks passed. You and your soulmate had an argument. They became scared. You saw it instantly. Old version. Disappear. Make a backup plan. Call family. Instead they said, "My first instinct right now is to protect myself by mentally keeping one foot out." You stared. That was very specific. Then, "I don't want to do that." You asked, "What do you want to do?" They answered, "Stay in the conversation." So you did. Not forever. Just that conversation. That was how trust began returning. Not through the 36-person confession. Through the quiet moments afterward. My beloved child. Your soulmate confessed their love for you in public. Yes. They stood in front of family and friends and said, "I am still in love with them." But that wasn't the most unbelievable thing they said. The strongest sentence was, "If they never come back to me, stop telling the story as if they failed me." Because that confession finally stopped making love about getting you back. 4 months. Your soulmate allowed people to believe you were afraid of commitment. The truth? You had already applied for a home together. You were ready to sign. Your soulmate was the person who secretly renewed another lease because fear made them want an escape route. And when you discovered it, you didn't leave because love suddenly disappeared. You left because you could not build a shared future with someone keeping a private exit open. Your soulmate loved you then. But love without honesty couldn't protect the relationship. Now, for the first time, they're learning that public love means more than saying your name loudly. It means correcting the story when the truth makes them look worse. If this story touched your heart, comment, "I choose love that can stand in the truth." Not as a spell. Not to force a public confession. As a reminder. Anyone can say, "I love you." The harder question is, will they tell the truth when the truth costs pride? Will they defend your name when you aren't in the room? Will they admit, "I was the one who was afraid," instead of letting everyone assume you were? Last night, your soulmate finally did. They told 36 people they still loved you. But the line that changed everything wasn't the confession itself. It was what came immediately after. "They did not fail me just because they finally stopped accepting the consequences of my fear." And for perhaps the first time, your soulmate didn't confess love to make you return. They confessed the truth, even knowing you might never return at all.